Hey everyone, so I am going to do a review, walkthrough, intuitive thing on the Fantastical Creatures Tarot. It's got the basic white book, different languages in it. Nope, this one doesn't have different languages. It's actually, okay, so this one, sorry about that, but it has a lot in it for a little white book. It really does. Has the divinatory meaning, the magical meaning, and then it talks about the cards description. So it's a pretty good book in all. Like when I got this deck, I really liked the book part of it because it had so much in it. And I got this a while ago. So then it also, I think this would be probably a really good deck for somebody who's new. And whether they want to do it intuitive or read by the book, it would work both ways for them. And they provide these little cool quick reference guides for major arcana, and it's got both sides. You can see like just like words, like specific words just to like jog your memory or give you something to start off from. And then they have it for minor arcana as well on all of them. I thought this was pretty cool. And the cardstock's really good, actually. I think it's really good. And I don't mind the finish. I've talked before in other videos where the finish has bothered me on certain cards. And then these are the backs. All right. So I'll flip these over. And I did go ahead. I've used these. I spent a week getting to know these cards. Actually like using them in readings and everything else. So what I wanted to do for my review, instead of a reading this time, is show you how I intuitively read these cards. And I'm just gonna, this might be a little bit longer of a video, so if you're not interested in watching a long video at the moment, just pause or stop and, you know, move on with your day and come back to it. But if you don't mind how I might read intuitively for this deck review, then please feel free to keep moving forward. I just don't want to waste anybody's time if they don't have time right now. Anyways, so I'm just going to give you like a word or description that kind of goes with what I feel from each card individually. And you know, honestly, I like this way of reading intuitively because I get to know the deck. When I first get a deck, I do this, and it helps me get to know the deck better. And I don't need to write it down or anything like that. I mean, I guess you can if you really want to, but I didn't need to. I just needed to look at the cards and associate something with them so that later on when I was doing intuitive readings, I could come back to that association. All right, so this is the first card. It's the Fool. It's a very pretty card. And for me, I got a sense of adventure. Like the dragon has the double heads on it and stuff like that. You can go either direction. So it's more of a sense of adventure. Not so much like other Fools I've seen where he's almost off the cliff or, you know, other things like that where it's a possible sudden death situation. I don't feel that here. But I do feel you can go one way or the other. All right. Then there's the Magician. And I really like the way that the Magician is portrayed in this card because it's a cat. And cats are very interesting creatures in themselves, as in they don't allow other people to just choose how they're doing things. They're not, you know, other than a litter box, they're not well-trained animals, really. I mean, you can train a cat to do things. It's just very difficult to do. They kind of do their own thing, and they see the magical world more than we do, which I think was great. Choice for this card. And they also have that sense of poise and grace that I feel the Magician would have. So for me, this card is about maybe like otherworldly knowledge mixed with, you know, the grace to use it. And then we have the High Priestess, and I'll be perfectly honest, this card was really, really hard for me to come up with something for, and ultimately I decided on secrets because it's a snake, and that kind of reminded me, and maybe, you know, maybe I'll get knocked for doing it this way, but it kind of reminded me of the Bible and how the snake slithers on the ground, which reminds me of secrets and the hidden, and then you have these scrolls down here which do the same thing. And then we have the Empress. She's a beautiful card. You can see her crow up there flying above her. She's very graceful. She's walking forward. There's some fruit down here. So I feel like it's a fruitful card. Like that's the word that came up for me, is it's fruitful. It's moving forward. It's movement, and the apples and stuff like that gave it fruitful for me. Okay, here's the Emperor. And this one for me kind of come up with taking that leap. I think some people associate the Fool with taking that leap, but the Emperor in this deck seems to do that for me, because it's flying over this falling point, and the rocks are falling from his hooves too. And you have the wind in the background that's like helping spur it on, this Pegasus, and it's a take charge kind of Pegasus. It's like, I'm going to do this. So it's very strong, take a leap kind of card. Have faith in yourself kind of thing. All right, and then I have the High Priestess, or High Priest, sorry. And this card is a very strong card. I mean, look at the bird on this one. I think it's a hawk. I think it's a hawk type. And it's going after this cow. Like, look at those talons. It's for sure going after what it wants. It knows what it wants. It's got the strength behind it to make sure it happens. And that's some pretty powerful stuff going on in that card. So I view this card as like a powerful imagery of taking charge. And I'm only going to do the major arcana this way, guys. I don't want to do the whole deck this way because it would be really, really, really long. All right, so here's the Lovers card. And I found it to be a very beautiful card, a very serene card. And this one does seem more love related to me than just friendship. But I guess there could be the friendship love too, right? So then there's the light coming down onto them and stuff like that, as if the universe agrees with the choice of the relationship. And that's what I'm going to go with. So these weren't easy for me to do this way, honestly. So if anybody else wants to try this out, go ahead. It's kind of fun. I'd love to see, it'd be neat to see some VRs of people doing major arcana intuitively in 1 or 2 words. That would be kind of cool. So, all right, anyways, here's the Chariot. Oh, and it's a beautiful chariot. Look at that. You've got 2 guys that are flying, 2 Pegasus style man beast creatures. And let's see if we can get a little bit closer here. Oh, wow, look at the chests on those things. Whoo! These guys are powerful. They're definitely moving forward. They're moving forward in the universe too. Like, this isn't like it's in the forest or anything like that. This is definitely outward movement in the whole world kind of sense, rather than just in a smaller sense. So for me, this card would say, you need to get out there more. You need to go after it. You need to get that movement going. You need to go for it. Think outside your little box. All right, here's Strength. And this is one of my favorite cards in the deck. I love the dragon. And there's the turtle that's down here. There's the fish that's down here. You've got the ball in his hand. And there's definitely a magical aspect. You got the sun back here and the castle. And it's almost like water and air mixed together and fire all mixed together. And even a sense of earth kind of all mixed together in this Strength card. And he's not going after the turtles or anything like that. But you can definitely see the power within. So I feel like this is a power within kind of card. Like, look towards yourself, look inside to find that strength to keep going. You know, there be things inside you that just help you keep going too. All right, here's the Hermit. Now this Hermit is an interesting hermit to me. She's not really carrying a light or anything like that. I don't see any light in the pictures whatsoever, other than just the general light of the forest. But she is hiding. She's back away from things, back away from the light, hiding against a bush. And I don't necessarily sense that she's hiding from something so much as being shy. So for me, this card would give a sense of shyness, maybe something to overcome, because she could come out behind this, from behind this. It's not hard, but she just might not want to. All right, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune. And look at this Wheel of Fortune. Holy moly. I love the Egyptian feel of this card. And it does give that sense of knowledge and movement, and the circular motion down here. You've got the eye down here. So I definitely feel knowledge from this card. And then is Justice. Now this card's interesting. You have two cat type creatures that are, one is actually staring right at you, and the other one's kind of staring off into the distance. So there's definitely a feel of judgment per se in this card. Like, you know, if you're going to do something to us, then, you know, something's going to come back for you. Like, look at this ball of light that they're just holding on to too. So there's definitely a sense of owning whatever it is you've done, kind of thing. Then the Hanged Man. Now I find this card interesting because she's not upside down. She's Medusa. Look at those snakes. And she's got the wings. The tree is still there, but it's in the background. And I mean, look at those claws on her. And then you come down to the feet, and it kind of goes into that spiral, which I find very interesting. So this card to me definitely has the feel of looking at things from a different perspective, because for one, you're looking at the Hanged Man from a different perspective already, because the Hanged Man's right side up, but the tree is still in the background and stuff like that, and there's still a wrap around the feet down here. So there's still that sense of taking a closer look at things for sure. All right, Death card. This was a hard card for me. I mean, there is so much going on in this card. You have this man-type machine creature. You've got the spider going on. You have some kind of like webbing or scales going on. You have the snake crawling through this tree that's reaching down towards the ground. So I feel like there is definitely a sense of change in this card. I mean, it's not the kind of change like, you know, dead leaves to, you know, grown leaves or anything like that, but it's like a higher self kind of change, like movement from nature to snake to the spider to man and machine. So I feel like there's definitely a sense of change in here, and it's a higher self kind of change. All right, up next is Temperance, and she's really pretty. She's got the birds back here in the background, the light coming down towards her face here. You can see that she's holding the cup and the sword. They're not as straight as I've seen in other ones, and she's coming up out of the water, and there's that spiral again. This is a very earthy deck. So for me, the Temperance, I still feel that sense of higher self coming from this, and that idea of holding on to you and yourself, I guess, is what's coming from me. Like, yeah, I don't know. The higher self is the one that's coming out most to me. All right, Chains. And this is a different card. I don't remember which one this one is. I kind of feel like this one might be in place of the devil, because he's chained himself. Like, if you look at it, he has chained himself, and he can get out of it, but he's pulling this giant rock behind him. He's going through, you know, this dark place, this desolate place, and this cold place on his own. You know, and he's holding that chain, and he can get out of it. So it's the idea of breaking chains for me. And here's the Tower. Now, this card is different. Like, you've got this Kraken type creature in the background that's tearing down the tower. But you don't see anybody falling, like, in that sense of halfway point. I guess the fish could be seen that way because they're falling back into the river and they haven't quite made it there yet. But I also feel like that sense of stillness of, you know, you need to make a choice one way or the other comes kind of out in the tentacles, because the tentacles haven't completely torn it down yet. And there's still the lightning in the background and everything. So there's still that sense of misheaval, of upheaval is coming, and you have to make a choice. All right, here's the Star card, another one of my favorites. Now this card, again, really earthy, and you have the spiral again coming out in this card. The holding onto of the Phoenix. This is a very creative card to me. Like, this just speaks of creativity in my world, and all the colors and the lights, and it just tells me that something positive is about to happen, and I can focus on my creativity more. But I think that's a personal feeling for me on this card. All right, the Moon. Now this is a beautiful card. I love the unicorn in this card. And look at that necklace. Let's see if I can, there we go, zoomed in a little bit on the necklace. And you've got this wolf in the background. Look at that. Look at this. This is amazing. I love this card too. And there's the owl. So there's the sense of wisdom. There's the sense of the hidden. There's also the sense of the illuminated. So I feel like this card is telling you that, you know, you need the wisdom to see the illuminated and the hidden. All right, here's the Sun card. It's a very strong card, very strength orientated. There's the lights in the background that's highlighting this fantastic beast and those giant wings. And the lion is already a very proud, very courageous, very take charge kind of creature. And you have him on this like hillside, and then you have more lion, like another lion here hidden in this downside here. Yeah. So the Sun, I feel like, really portrays that aspect of pride. All right, Judgment. Now these are dragons. Aren't they pretty? Look at this. Okay, so you have the one dragon that's looking up. The wingspan's out, the claws are out. It's looking over the top of this dragon down here who's looking more towards you. And it's got that ball of light again that we've seen in other cards. And the wings are, these wings are a little more tattered, a little more see-through. So I do feel like there's a judgment, an actual judgment that this dragon is holding down over the other one. And ooh, what's that in the background? Looks like there's something back there too. So I feel like this card is really telling you to be careful on who you might be looking down on, because that's a powerful creature there. That's not, you know, just some mouse or something like that. That's a powerful creature. And whoever you're placing your judgment on, it could come back and bite you in the butt. All right, the next one is the World, and it's the final one that I will do my intuitive, and the rest I'm just gonna show you. All right, so here in the World, you have water, you've got earth, you've got air, you've got fire, you've got all these different creatures. You got the butterflies, so you have the change in there. You got the birds in the background, fish. Ooh, look at those fish. And then this snake creature. Look at the eye on this snake creature. There's the spirals again. All right, so this sense of the world is definitely there as a completion. The whole of everything is for sure there. All right, so those are my intuitive readings of the major arcana. And maybe sometime I'll do minor arcana, or maybe a suit or something like that, so you guys can see that too in another deck. All right, so here we go. Ace of Wands. I kind of like the sword in that. Two of Wands. Three of Wands. Look at this guy. He's beautiful. Four of Wands. And it's a bird type lady. Kind of reminds me of a harpy. Five of Wands. Six of Wands. Look at those wands in his hands there. There's that spiral. I wonder how many cards actually have the spiral on it. I hadn't really considered that. But there's another spiral. Let's see. You got more spirals in the hair of this. Oh, and on his snout area. Eight of Wands. Nine of Wands. 10 of Wands, and there's that spiral again. Page, and you can see down here there's that spiral again. Knight of Wands, and I'm not really seeing much of a spiral. There they are, the spirals are back there. Queen of Wands. She's pretty. Kind of like butterflies though. King of Wands, there's that spiral pattern again. Ace of Cups. I think the spiral's there down there in the water. Two of Cups. Oh, the spiral's a little bit on his chest there. And in her hair over here. Three of Cups. It's a pretty card. Four of Cups. Ooh, look at that man beast. Look at that picture. That's a shift for sure. 5 of Cups. I'm not finding the spiral in this either. 6 of Cups. Oh, she's pretty. The spiral is kind of a pattern in her hair there. Or actually the water that she's coming out of too. 7 of Cups. Spirals in the ground and in the water. Another shifting type card. 8 of Cups. 9 of Cups. There's that spiral again. 10 of Cups. There's the spiral again. Page. Let's see, the spiral's on the dolphin. Knight. Oh, it's kind of right here in his stuff is the spiral. There's one right there too. Queen of Cups. Ooh, look at that. She's pretty. I like the star type thing in her hair. King of Cups. There's that spiral again in just a different sense. And there's that shift, beast to man again. All right. Next is Swords. Ace of Swords. It's a pretty card. 2 of Swords. 3 of Swords. I kind of find this card a little bit creepy. But look, there's that spiral back there in the background. 4 of Swords. There's that spiral down there by the little baby. And it's kind of a spiral right in here too. 5 of Swords. It's a very Fae style deck. That spiral reminds me of the Fae so much. 6 of Swords. The spiral is there by the bird. 7 of Swords. I don't see the spiral in this one. This is kind of in her face and hair right there, but there's that shift from human to beast again. 8 of Swords. There's definitely that mix. Look at the light coming out of that mouth. 9 of Swords. Very tangled. Look at all those spirals in there. Harpies. 10 of Swords. Let's see, do we see a spiral in this one? Not necessarily. Maybe a little bit there in the water. Yep, there in the water. Page of Swords. There's that beast and man shift again. I think that's why I like this deck, is the shift between man and beast in a lot of the cards. Knight of Swords. Queen of Swords. Oh, there's a spiral right there on her chest. King of Swords. Oh, there's lots of spiral stuff going on in this one, huh? Oh, look at those faces in the background there. Ace of Pentacles. Oh, I like the star in this one. The pentacle star. And the apples. I don't really see a spiral, though. Oh, there it is, right there. By the apple thing. 2 of Pentacles. Oh, the spirals are on the legs. Ooh, and in the middle of the pentacle, too. Very fruitful card, right? 3 of Pentacles. Definitely work-related. I don't really see a spiral, though. 4 of Pentacles. Little salamander-type dragon creature. Ooh, pretty. 5 of Pentacles. Little gnome. Going past some mean little faces here. No spiral, though. There's definitely pentacles in the card. I don't even... Yeah, he doesn't have a spiral on him. 6 of Pentacles. Oh, look at that face. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. No spiral in that one either. 7 of Pentacles. Look at all those faces. Wow. Wow. There's a lot going on in this card. But do you see how I mean? They can be very intuitive if you wanted them to be. There's just so much going on. So much in the artistry. 8 of Pentacles. There's those spirals again. 9 of Pentacles. As a whole, we kind of see the spiral here and there. But there's that human-beast interaction again. 10 of Pentacles. Spirals are right there in the ground. Hard-working card there. Fruits of your labor. Page of Pentacles. Oh, she's pretty. Spirals are designs in her dress. Yeah, this is an extremely earthy deck, which I like. Knight of Pentacles. Let's see. Oh, he's got a great face. Oh, look at the spirals back here. Look at the faces in these trees. Wow. Some detailed work went into this art. Queen of Pentacles. Spirals are for sure there. Right on her dress. It's a very whimsy card. Last but not least, King of Pentacles. See, there we go. The spiral is kind of him, isn't it? It's like flowing around him. Ooh, and in the webbing. Very creative cards. All right, so this is my review slash intuitive slash peek. I really liked working with these cards. They are an intuitive deck, and they were a lot of fun to play with. I don't think they're my deck per se, but I will keep a hold of them because I like them a lot and because I enjoyed working with them. I do think they might be better suited for readings for other people, not for myself though. So thank you guys so much for watching. And I will put the title or the what the cards are called in the description. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.